Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Auto Transport Intel. It is Friday, it is noon Central Time, and that means it's time for Cars on the Move. And once a month, we do the melting block of ice. Now, what is a melting block of ice when it comes to auto transport? That is the dealer's inventory, and that car is a block of ice and it's melting. And the longer it sits, the more it melts. And the more it melts, the less value it has. And in today's crazy market, in the automotive used market, vehicles need to be moved ASAP because there's less of them. People need them, and they're actually valued higher than ever before. We're going to talk about all of that. And we have Tim Scoutelas. He is our special guest from Max Digital on the melting block of ice. In fact, Tim is the reason we created the melting block of ice because he is awesome. All right, and he throws down videos and talks to Paul Machine at Black Book, and he's got data, and he's hands-on. He's at dealerships, and he knows what he's talking about. We're lucky to have him. So do me a favor, before we get to Tim, you can leave a like. Thank you so much. And then click share, click copy. You see it right below the video. You can grab the YouTube link, send it to a friend. Send it to somebody that works with dealers, works with auctions, works with inventory. Could be a transporter, could be a broker, could be a dealer, could be an auction rep. Maybe somebody that works in recon. Send it to them. Let them know there's this show where they talk about inventory. They do it live, and we have great people. And thank you also for jumping in the live chat. We got David at Two Bears Transportation, and Tim is saying hello. So there, you can chat with Tim if you've got a question, and we encourage that. Also, one last piece of business. Do me a favor, if you don't know what's going on, you're trying to network, grow, get information, you want to get in touch with one of the shows on Auto Transport Intel, go to autotransportintel.com, click on sign up. Become an ATI insider, talk to Ty, get on the email blast. Maybe you want to know what's up with the bell. You can contact me, send me the news. Let's see, let me put that in the live chat. Send me the news. Send it to autotransportintel@gmail.com. It's right there in the live chat. Tim, can you see me and hear me okay? Oh, wait, I lost your audio. Oh, you're on courtesy mute. Hey,
no, that was my fault.
It's all good.
Mic check. Mic check. Can you hear me now?
1 2, checking 1 2. I hear you great. You look great. What's going on, Tim?
Not much. Jay, how are you, man? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday to you. It is our monthly ritual, and we appreciate. Thank you for taking the time to join.
Oh yeah, man. Listen, really haven't had a lot of melting ice in auto,
I know, right?
Over the last 6-8 months, but I think we're starting to see some water in the auto industry. Had a couple big meetings this week with one of them with our good buddy Paul, where we you
guys had a video.
Yeah,
What is it?
Demand destruction.
Demand destruction. What's that about?
I know it's a crazy term that Paul turned me on to. So. It's a term that was first launched back in the 80s, in 70s and 80s when there was a oil shortage. But think of it this way. People will not want to buy something and turn off on a particular product if the prices are too high for too long. And that typically happens when there's a shortage. So I used the example of boats, right? People wanted to, do more outdoor things. Where I live, boating is pretty popular. You can't find a boat to buy right now. Not only that, the ones you do find are really, really expensive. So you know what? Everybody's like, I'll just wait till next season. And I think we're seeing that with houses, the housing market. It's just like, you know what? I'd love to move to the mountain house or get a house by the water, but man, prices are so high. Everyone's like, I'll just wait till they come back. So, I think everybody can kind of relate to those feelings. In the auto industry, we're seeing that in particular pockets on particular makes and models. We use the example of pickup trucks. GM pickup trucks, I mean, 1, 2 year old trucks are still being listed online for over MSRP, what they were 2 years ago. I mean, that's just crazy. So if you needed a pickup truck or you had to have one, you probably bought it already. You go and try and find one, and you're like, wait, that's more than they are new. So you might be waiting until prices come back. So that's what we call demand destruction. Does that make sense? That was
Well,
kind of
it
a long
does.
answer.
And the truth is, and by the way, sorry, camera one, I hit the wrong button there on the while Tim was talking. Truth is, I saw the video, and I just
Okay.
wanted to hear because not everybody, we got people
Yeah.
in the live chat. They didn't see they may not have seen the video, and so I like it. It's an interesting concept, and that's one of the things that what I like is that you're getting into the economics, and Paul does this too,
Yeah.
economics and data, but you're relating economics as it relates to today's marketplace. And while economics, camera one, economics may sound kind of boring, right? It's so vital to understanding any marketplace. That's why
Yeah.
economics exists.
Yeah. It,
And
it, it, Paul, Paul does a great job of bringing these things out and making them, just real. It's real life now,
mm-hmm.
and people can relate. And I'm trying to get across to some of my guys, and we got to move on price a little bit. I know that there's no cars coming. I mean, the news is getting worse about auto, right? Did you guys, if you talked about it already, Toyota, they cut their production
I saw that
huge.
40%
Well,
globally. There,
yeah.
and I mean, and yeah, it's not just a market here and a market there.
Yeah.
Overall, now, Tim, why? I think I read why. Why? What is your understanding of why that is?
Oh, so it's the chips for
It's the
Toyota
chips.
specifically. Yeah, they have, well, the manufacturing plants in Malaysia are just being shut down due to COVID.
Right,
And
it's COVID too.
COVID related.
Right, so exactly. This is an intersection of you got a chip shortage,
Mm-hmm.
and then you also have countries, areas that
Mm-hmm.
are much more heavily affected by COVID,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because we're in the COVID resurgence. I just read this morning, and I'm camera one. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about this. I just read this morning. Now we're talking COVID lambda, not
Yeah.
just delta, but lambda. And we're going to be going through, I think we're going to be going through the geometrical alphabet here. We're going to be on like COVID zeta. I don't know.
So I thought they were all sponsored by
Double
big
Zeta.
companies. First one was coronavirus. The second one was Delta. I thought like maybe McDonald's or Coca-Cola was going to get involved. I wasn't sure.
I'm pretty sure. Well, then there'll be, we serve COVID delta, but not lambda.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
Okay.
But,
So,
yeah. It just goes to show you, like the supply chain though in auto is so fragile right now. I mean, it's just.
I like what you said about moving on price, because I think I heard you guys talking about how. So a buyer is at the dealership and he wants to pick his Escalade color.
He wants a particular color, or he's the person who doesn't have to buy is not necessarily influenced by price alone, right? He needs to be sold value. So if you're going to keep your price up there, it's like, well, I'd rather just wait. So used cars are going to be even more expensive, but we definitely are seeing, there's a definite price drop on the wholesale side. It's kind of bleeding into the retail side now. Cars that were bought 30, 60, days ago are not worth what they were. And so we're seeing some water. The ice has melted. It's time to kind of reload at new prices. And we see it every year this time. It's a little bit earlier this year. But when the model year changes, we typically see, 7 to 10% depreciation anyway at a car dealership.
And I want to go to slides here in a minute, but are we then saying that finally the values, the used value, even mildly to heavily used vehicle, which kept going up, has it peaked and it's coming back?
Yeah, I mean that's what the numbers indicate, that it's peaked and it's starting to come back. But I don't think we're at a 35 to 40% increase from the beginning of the year. You're not going to see a 40% drop. We're not going back to the beginning of the year. We're not going
back, yeah.
No.
But do we have an idea of the drop? Do you have graphs of that, or I don't know?
No, so that wasn't what I was going to talk about today. You
Oh,
kinda
okay,
caught
good.
me off
All
guard.
right. No, we're cool. We're cool.
We're going on there.
Yeah,
That was what we talked about.
we didn't prep at all, and I like that,
No,
Tim.
yeah. I brought stuff for transporters. I bought stuff.
Oh,
I bought some stuff to talk about with your guys.
great. Let's
I
see
mean,
it.
try
Yeah,
to.
let's talk about it.
No, no, it's going to be completely
Okay.
the other way.
All right, so let's do this. Let's go to that transition, and
Okay.
let's keep talking about values for a minute.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, right. On the value side, we're not going to see a 35% drop. We're not going back to the beginning of the year. It's seasonal. We see a 7 to 10% drop, but on a $40,000-$50,000 piece of merchandise, that's a lot of money for a dealer. And if he's got 20 of them, that's a lot of money. So that's what we're seeing right now. Used cars are going to be where it's at, right? Especially with that news from Toyota, it's going to hit other guys too. But when you texted me the other night about, hey, we're going to do the show this Friday, I was like, all right, what can we talk about that would be relevant for the majority of your audience, right? We don't have a lot of my car guys here. We got a lot of transporters on here. So I thought we would talk about today, and this would be great. Too bad, what's his name isn't here. What's that guy?
Oh, yeah,
funny
who is
looking
that guy?
What's that?
Ty Thompson.
Ty, that's
Oh,
his
the
name.
host of the show isn't here.
Where's Ty?
I was thinking about this. Ty he's tied up on assignment.
Okay, very good.
Okay.
Well, so here I'm going to share my screen. Make sure this works for you. All right, cool. I thought we would talk about, Ty's really good at talking to car dealers, right? That's the best way to get business is to talk to them. But I thought we would do is if you don't want to talk to people, and I know for some of us it's not the easiest thing to do. If you get to a car dealership and you're a transporter, what are three things you could look for to know if this is a potential customer that you should go after? All right. So this is stuff that I do when I go to a car dealership. I actually do these three things. They're super simple. All right. So three things you should look at when you're dropping off a car. If it's a new piece of business for you, dropping a car off, whatever. First thing you should do, I think, is drive the back lot. Okay. I actually have a little channel called Live from the Back Lot. It's kind of where it inspired me. But I think you can tell a lot about a dealer from what's behind the curtain. Now, you got to know what you're looking for. So this picture here on the left, all right, those are cars with auction writing on it, right? They got you can see that they got the stickers. You could tell a guy is busy and there's potential for transport business for you guys if you see a lot of auction cars there, right? If you're driving the back lot and it looks like the spot on the right, you probably don't have a lot of chances for business. This guy's not going to the auction. Believe it or not every dealer goes to the auction, right? So do you see a lot of stuff going on back there? Or is it empty? Are there windshields being repaired? Is there a dent guy back there? Is there the detail shop? How busy is the detail shop, right? Are things happening in the back lot? Or is it quiet? Okay, good way to see. Right? Would you agree, Jay? I mean, am I onto something here?
No, I love it, man. You're killing it. This is cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, second thing I think you could do is walk. No, I said drive the back lot. You don't have to get out. If you get out, it's kind of creepy. They're going to be like, what are you doing back here? But the front lot is where the retail happens. I would suggest you walk that lot. And here's the things you want to look for. So first off, do they do a lot of advertising on their vehicles? Like I tried to get some pictures here of this. Looks like a Ford Fusion of some sort, right? A 2015 for $23,995, crazy. But dealers will tell you, it's crazy. They'll tell the customers that it's last chance or it's time to go. You can see that these hang tags are here. Those are like was and is price statements. Maybe you get an idea how long the car's been there. And now, it's like, hey, car guys got to do something with that car, right? So one, is the front lot crowded, right? And two, are there things happening on the windshields that might indicate that it's time to move some inventory? So maybe he's got cars to move to the auction, or he's going to move them to another store or whatever. So the potential for business for you guys is there. How do you know if a car dealer is, how many cars are car dealers selling? It's Sorry about that. It's a question I get asked a lot. A good car dealer will turn their inventory that they have out there once a month. So if you got 50 cars out there, figure they're selling 50 a month. A guy who's not particularly busy, like maybe the guy who's got this backlot here like this, right? He's probably turning his inventory, a little bit less. So he might be selling 35 or 40. If he's really slow, he's selling half of it, right? And then on the flip side, if they're super duper busy, they might be turning their inventory 1.5 times or 1.33 times. They might be selling 75 or 60 cars a month. So you can typically tell no guy who carries 50 sells 100. That's really hard to do. I mean, it's very rare, but you can tell by the level of activity. So again, if the guy's busy, potential for some business, I think, from the transporter. The last thing I suggest you do is walk the showroom. What's going on in the showroom? You don't have to talk to anybody. Guarantee. Well, hopefully, if the dealer is doing their job, they're going to talk to you. They're going to ask you, and they're going to try and sell you something, but that's okay. It's great to talk to the salespeople. Find out what type of atmosphere is there. Now, this picture I got here, this is a pretty busy place. I snagged this off of the web. You can see there's people at the desks here working. Right? The guy's got his coat on. That means he goes outside. That's good, right? He's going in and out. The receptionist, the phones are ringing. What's happening? If it's dead in there and nothing's going on and it's like church, it's probably not a very busy dealer. And he's probably not selling a lot of cars, and there's probably not a lot of opportunity for business. So if you don't want to talk to a dealer, I strongly suggest you get to that point. But if you want to just look around, right? Here's the summary of the things to do. Right? Inspect the backlot. We talked about that. Stickers on the cars. And Jay, I'm happy to leave this with you if you want. What's going on in the backlot? Is there a detail guide, dent guide, bumper repairs, windshields, right?
Yeah.
What's going on in the front? What's that?
I would love a copy of this. This is cool.
Yeah. Okay. And then just talk about turn. If this is the guy selling a lot of cars or not. I gave an example. A typical dealer will sell 85 to 90% of their inventory. So 50s, he's selling 35 to 40 on a 100-car lot. If you count 100 used cars in the guy's lot, chances are he's buying some cars at the auction. Very few dealers can survive on just trades with a 100-car lot. And then obviously the showroom, right? Again, did you get greeted? I hope you did. If you didn't, there's a sign. It's not typically busy, unless it's so busy they couldn't greet you. Are the phones ringing? Are customers with people? Is stuff happening? So a couple of tips for the guys and girls out there. If they don't want to get involved talking to the dealers, they can look around a little bit.
Man, great info and stats. I mean, go ahead and if you're out there watching, take it. I'm going to go to the screen here, but grab your cell phone. Take a screenshot. This could be good information, because here's a question, Tim. What if an auto transporter is walking around the showroom and they get greeted? What would be a good thing to say? So
the first, it depends on how you're greeted. What they should say is, "Hey, is there any information I can get for you?" Or "Welcome to the dealership." So yeah, well, my name is Tim. I'm a transporter. I was just checking out your facility. I dropped off one of your cars. Man, it's a nice place. Do you guys do a lot of shipping of cars back and forth from whatever your favorite route is? I don't know. Hey, I live in St. Louis. I go back and forth. You ever have cars going back to St. Louis? I mean, I don't know what it would be.
Yeah, but no, I like what you're saying. Exactly.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Talk about your running lane.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about yourself, the business. But first of all, give them a big compliment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's, find out what's selling hot. Salespeople love to talk. They'll tell you stuff that the car dealer probably doesn't want you to know, but ask them how they're. Do they buy it? Hey, who's the used car manager? Does he buy a lot of cars at the auction? Where's he getting all his cars? And I sound like Ty Thompson now, but the salespeople will fill you in on what's going on for sure.
I took this screen back, so now we're back on screen. So here's we got a couple questions. This is good. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. We'll keep you for another 10 minutes. Silvermint. Many dealers have off-site lots for wholesale.
Yeah. Some do. You're right. A lot of it. If it's a small facility, they will not want to keep the cars at the dealership. As soon as they're traded for, they send them right to the auction to keep keep space. So typically the very back last line at the dealership is wholesale. Where they keep the junkers. But right, I've seen that before, offsite lots.
And then what Silverman also said, a list of dealer slang would be cool. Ooh,
Yeah.
whoa.
All right,
Great
tell you
idea.
what. I actually have a glossary of terms that I use to train my guys on when we hire people, because we do talk in a kind of a different language.
Right.
Tell you what.
Yeah, wow.
Sign it up.
What do we do?
Next month.
Next month. Love it. So next month we're going to do dealer slang on the melting block of ice. I love it. Well done. Hey, cool. Silver Mint. I'm going to do this. I'm going to queue up the, I got to, because I got my props and my sounds and all that stuff. What I want to do is, this is for Tim's volunteering that information and Silvermint's idea. I just want to, man, I'm loading my sounds here. I gotta go ahead. Thank you. That is awesome.
Good idea.
Well done in the live chat. And this is what it's all about, live engagement. Okay, so that is, I'll just tell you right now, we'll go to the calendar here. We're looking at September 24th.
All right.
Melting block of ice, dealer slang.
Let's go. Let's see.
Or we could do the 17th.
No, I got so much going on in September. No, I should be, that works. I actually got it on the calendar already.
Friday 24th, dealer slang. Awesome. Oh my gosh. That is so great.
Maybe we got to maybe turn it into a game or something. I don't know. How do we...
Ooh, I'll tell you what. We have a game show on Tuesday nights. You've seen Are You a Car Shipping Guru?
I'm terrible at that game.
That game is so hard.
How do people know that?
No, I have never gotten 5 for 5. Actually, this week I got 4 out of 5. Check this one out. Blank is the first city in 1903 to set up the first Ford dealership. Is it New York City, Detroit, Toledo, or San Francisco?
Well, I'm going to just go with San Francisco because it sounds like the craziest answer that you wouldn't guess.
That's what it is.
Well, only because you'd set me up that way, but it should have been one of the other 3.
Is that amazing?
Yeah, that's amazing.
I'm like, and it's funny you say that because I was thinking San Francisco too, because the only way to play this game is to think crazy.
Right. Yeah, those. So wait, can a transport, like a guy who's really, knows his stuff, can he really pull off how much it costs to go from those crazy cities really fast? I mean,
wow, that's a really good question.
I mean, is that something somebody knows? Really
I think this. I think there's kind of 2 main transportation running lanes. One is load boards and chasing the money.
Okay.
The other is I drive St. Louis to Memphis and Louisville. Mm-hmm. And I hopefully the guys will back me up on this. Let me know if you think I'm wrong in the live chat. And within that, so what's strange is when you talk about a dealership and how to talk to the dealership and go in there, we're really talking more about that second group, that running lane group.
Okay.
But I think there are just as many chasing the money on the load boards, and that's where that group doesn't really, I don't think, gets a lot out of cars on the move because they're chasing loads on the load board. Okay. It's not about building relationships. Yeah. And at the same time, I also understand why many are like, yeah, building relationships is a waste of time because, and that's the real need for better communication, understanding in the verticals, there is so much fragmentation. Have you ever seen a transporter walk into a dealership and successfully create a relationship?
Yeah, to be honest, yes, I have.
Oh, you have? Wow.
Oh, yeah.
You've seen that? Okay.
Yeah,
what did that look like? Because I think people want to know. What did that look like?
I mean, the guy he was in our service area helping himself to a cup of coffee, because car dealerships, some of them have real nice coffee bars, and he was just there and started talking to the salespeople. He did exactly what I said. And, he was a new car hauler. but he was starting his own. He was going out on his own, and he's like, "Hey, you got cars that you need to move." That was just how it started. And then so I was in Memphis. Crazy you say to Memphis. I was at a Toyota dealership in Memphis, and we had to haul cars to the local sale. It was like whatever. But Memphis Auto Auction. I guess everybody knows where Memphis Auto Auction is, or Odessa, Memphis, from the Germantown area. It's only 20 minutes away. But the guy started. That's how he started hauling cars for us, 3 at a time. He charged us like $50. It was great. So I mean, it happens.
Well, and that's a great story, because I also think that one of the things we touch upon, and this is what's great about the car shipping roundtables that we do, is that there are not. What's interesting in auto transport, you've got folks that are, I want to be a car hauler. Then you've got folks that are, I want to be a broker. And some of Ty's advice is the same for each. If you want to be a broker, you really need to start talking to people, because if you're just buying leads, and no matter how you slice it, and that's what I think Cars on the Move hits upon, whether it's a dealership or an auction. We leave out OEMs because I talk to businesses that are established, and even they're like, yeah, breaking into OEM is hard.
It's hard, yeah.
You got to be a medium to large size business, because the OEM doesn't want to say, okay, well, if you can't move 1,000 cars when I need it, what's the point?
Yeah, the OEM, I can't pay much, right?
Is that right?
I couldn't imagine, right?
Well,
does it?
I don't know, but I what I have heard is it's slow to pay. Which is another thing that an auto transport business does not want to hear.
Yeah, well, for sure.
So, pretty interesting stuff. We went through all your slides, right? We did.
I did what I had. We talked about demand destruction. Good stuff there.
Tim, this was a cool show, and I got to tell you, when I heard that Ty was tied up on assignment, I knew that actually this is an interesting opportunity for us to just hang out and talk. And it went really well, and it's already over. That's it.
Man, I love doing the show, Jay. Man, great. Your guys are awesome. Thank you, everybody. You guys can check me out on Facebook. Live in the Backlot.
I shared your YouTube channel. What if somebody wants to contact you? Can you be contacted?
Yeah, my YouTube channel, Tim at Max Digital. Right? You can get Tim at Max Digital. I'm still there. We just got bought up by ACV Auctions, so got a lot of ACV stuff happening. Who knows? Isn't ACV? Doesn't ACV have a transport division too? We were talking about that.
ACV has a So ACV has a transport division. In fact, the landing page. I'm going to share this just because this is so cool. Is that you can still go to, and people still do. You can go here to sign up to move for ACV. You go to acvauctions.com/ATI, and there is the ATI ACV landing page. How cool is that?
Yeah. And now listen, I don't know anything about ACV. All I got is a coffee mug and a hat. I don't even have a login to anything. So, but what would I did see that video that you and Joe did a bunch of years ago.
Yeah.
They merch you out. They love their merchandise.
They should. And everybody should merch everybody out. I should be shooting a t-shirt cannon every week. That's my mistake. I actually, But
so just real quick, what is it if a guy goes on there, he gets signed up with ACV Transport? Is that how that works?
So yes. So ACV, nationwide, digital auto auction, and more.
Yeah.
Yes, they get so many dealer trades. And by the way, ACV, it's all wholesale. Do they do any retail?
Not right now.
Yeah, there we go. Oh, that's awesome. Wrong one. Share my screen. Okay, so wholesale, ACV Auctions, wholesale dealer moves. They move so many cars. They have their own transportation and carrier network, which is really how any business, if you move enough cars, you should have your own carrier network. They do. So now you go to ACV Auctions. As a transporter, you sign up to be in their carrier network so you have access to their internal load board, because that's where they post their loads. Yeah. If they have trouble moving them from there, they may go outside their network, which is that's what the load boards are for. Okay, if you can't get someone in your network, then you go to the classifieds.
All I know is they're growing like mad.
Yeah.
I hope it's good for guys. Somebody tell me if it's not, well, fix it. I'll get somebody to help you fix it.
Well,
They're on there.
I'll tell you what. Here's what I've learned is that some companies always do the right thing, some companies never do the right thing, and some companies just have bad moves. That they're fine, but they have those tricky cars, or the shipper got quoted like you had the greenhorn salesperson that gave a terrible quote, and there's
Right.
nowhere good to go,
Yeah.
right? So those things happen, but for the most part, and even there it is, like Silverman. Silverman says I move a lot of ACV,
Good.
and I think that that's the consensus.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they move a lot of cars, and that's what people need. And in fact, on the melting block of ice, with all the other parameters of the market and COVID, etc., is that now with more and more digital auctions,
Mhm.
that's right, that the disruptor, it's really disrupted the way vehicles move.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I think that there's more people now watching this type of content than there were a couple years ago when things were just fine. But now
Yeah.
that there's so much disruption, yeah, how do I adapt? What do I need
Yeah.
to do?
Hey, look, Paul Machine says it best. You got to throw away the box. Just, what we were doing last year, you just got to try something new. It's changing. So
Change
Hey.
is on the move. Tim,
great. Thanks again, buddy.
thank you so much. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll see you next time, and I'm letting Tim go. Take care, everybody. Stay safe, and we'll see you soon. Thanks so much for tuning in. Take care.